Welcome back to Universe. I'm Andrew, and today I'm playing Earthborne Rangers. This is part 10 of the campaign. I am on day 11. I was on a long journey down to Tumbledown, and I'm now on my way back up. I'm back up to Rings of the Moon, and I'm headed for the biological outpost, which is over here. So I'm going to have to go Meadow, Stoneweaver Bridge, Mound of the Navigator, outpost. And other than that little journey for my Journey to Biological Outpost mission, I'm also going to be keeping my eye out for Reclaimer Seekers as part of the Secret Invasion mission, and I am searching for somebody. This is Andrew from later in the video when I realized that I made a mistake setting up this day. Actually, I made the mistake on the previous day. I'm not supposed to have this Secret Invasion mission. I'm supposed to have this Invasion Stage 1 mission. I will realize this later. It would have had an effect, but not a huge one, I don't think. So you'll see when I realize that, and we'll talk through it and fix it. For now, I just want to let you know. So back to past me. Searching for Cassende, expert hunter who's gone missing. The lore text said that she was headed to the swamp, the Marsh of Rebirth, and that's not where I'm going. But I think the way the rules work is that might have just been flavor text, and I can find her anywhere I happen to pick up trails. So that's what I'll be doing on my way to Biological Outpost. If this is your first time joining me, I recommend check the link in the description of the playlist where you can catch up on the story so far and how to play. But you're welcome to join me either way. Our weather is going to be a downpour again. So I have that set up. I did add a couple of cards to my deck, a couple of new reward cards that I have picked up. So let's see what our mulligan is going to look like. We did get the new Topographone here. We have Riri competing for my awareness, as well as a Sky Whip, Throng of Life, Now's Understanding. These are all pretty good cards to have. Philosopher's Honey, maybe not, just because I'm not starting out with any fatigue. So I think I'll send that one back and draw a new card, which is Shape the Earth. That's the one I was actually thinking I'd like to have. Features come out that can help me travel a little bit more quickly, which is my main objective right now. So that'll be my opening hand, and let's set up our location. We are at Rings of the Moon, presence of 1, 4 to travel, and with awareness and exploration I can peer through the ancient guidepost to search the valley set for a feature and shuffle it into the path deck. So you can find whatever feature you're looking for, which is interesting. I know that there's like a traveler or like an explorer's cache, which can help out. I don't remember what it does. And then there's the arcology sinkhole, but that one's better found at the location I just left. But neither of those is my priority, so really I'll just be looking to travel. We'll read 35 for Rings of the Moon. An arrival setup, lead ranger is going to draw 1 path card. So let's see, my 1 path card is some loose boulders. Let's read 35. Rising up from a series of small hillocks along the edges of a meadow's vast prairie, the large towers each support a massive loop of dull gray metal and ceramics. Some have broken into half or quarter circles, but a few are still intact. The locals in Meadow say that if you go to the edge of the valley with a scope and look back through all the loops at once, you'll see another world, in reality, just sideways from your own. Almost every artificer who's inspected the rings, however, believe they are part of a vast and non-functional sensor network. Very cool theming stuff. As a non-pivotal location, there are no cards specifically for Rings of the Moon, though, so it's no point hanging out and trying to explore it. It's just going to be a mix of ravine cards and valley set cards. And our loose boulders, it's going to be within reach. It is an obstacle. Focus in exploration to inch your way along precariously balanced rocks to move your ranger icon to this feature. Then move this feature within reach of another ranger. So if there were multiple players, everyone would get a turn to try to ascend the loose boulders. If you clear it with harm and it's within reach of a ranger, that ranger suffers 2 injuries. So we don't want to do that. I definitely want to use my focus and exploration. I need a test of 2, and when I do that, I'll clear it because it's got that little icon there. So that I just need to do that one test one time. Focus is not my good suit, but exploration icons I tend to have. Let's see if I have any right now I'm willing to part with. I've got a couple, but I kept all cards I want. I didn't really mulligan for icons. The weather is inclement on a sun, add a harm to this feature, and we are in inclement weather. The downpour could make us take a couple injuries here. Crest also adds harm to it, so these could fall out from under us at any point. And then I'll draw a path card to start the round. Step 1, we get more loose boulders. That is not good because if I'm working on one, the other one could be coming out from under us. Shape the earth doesn't even help because it will add progress, but they don't clear with progress. I have to do that focus test. And it needs a 2, and I only have 1 focus energy. So I think I'm really going to need to take my time. Also, let's take a look at search. If your current location is not a ranger station, it's not. When a feature comes into play, put 2 trail tokens on it. So we'll put 2 trails here and 2 here. When a card with a trail token on it is cleared, place them on this card. And when you have 4, I'll read 1.45. And then we have some various icons as well. All right, this is kind of awkward, but I almost wonder if the best thing I can do is end the round. I haven't done anything yet. I really don't want the injuries. Not a great way to start the day. All right, I think I'm going to play Topographone. It does have one of my exploration icons, but I don't want to spend it. So it's going to have two graphs, 2 counters on it. And with awareness and reason, I can use a graph to calibrate the device to my current environment and scout 2 path cards for every effort. I'm not really planning to use that now, but I'm not going to use my awareness for anything else. So let's just put this into play with 2 graphs. So I'm running low on these generic tokens already because I've got 2 trails here, 2 trails here, 4 rain up here. I've got a song and 2 graphs. So not a lot of tokens left. Ton of harm and progress though. All right, do I even try? Well, there's no fail case. The fail case is hitting one of these icons, but they're pretty bad. But I think I'm gonna have to get a little lucky, especially with 2 of them. So I'm gonna commit 1 exploration with Riri. I've got 1 focus energy, so let's do a test. I need a 0 on blue. I got a 0 on blue. All right, this is actually probably the best outcome possible. 2 means I succeeded, which means I get to add my icon to it, and that means it clears. So this is gone, and those 2 tokens actually go onto my search mission. I then resolve a mountain, and this says remove a trail token from a feature. So we lost 1 trail, unfortunately, but we didn't take any fatigue or injuries, or the boulders are not shifting, so all that was good. I'm definitely not going to be able to complete this round because I don't have any more focus energy. So I think we just end the round. We'll energize and draw a path card, which is some Nycta bats. It starts with 2 bats. There go my last generic tokens. X is equal to number of bats on it, so that is its harm threshold of 2 or 5 progress. And on a mountain, if there's an active web wall, the bats become engaged in it and add a harm to the swarm. Oops, that should be a 1. So the bats can beat themselves up if there's a web wall, but there's not. So they're going to be within reach. They don't really do anything, though. They're just in the way. They're harrying me with their 2 presence. But I can actually clear them really easily. I have Now's Understanding. For 1 spirit, I can put 5 progress on them, and that's how much I need. Or, I mean, the other option is I could use Riri, which I don't have her now, so I can't actually, but she could have done 2 harm over the course of 2 rounds. I could try to Sky Whip the bats. I only needed 2, but I think I'll just play Now's Understanding. Just add 5 progress, and then if they're still out, but they're not, so ignore the rest of that text. And then, I mean, I guess I just do this again. I did draw a card with an exploration icon, and this is my new card that I got from speaking with one of the elders in the previous day. So I'd just be pitching it for a single exploration that doesn't even have a great chance to succeed. I wonder if I should just just try to be super careful across these boulders and just keep ending the round until I have more exploration icons to work with. I have Throng of Life, which normally lets me deal with situations like this, but it costs focus energy and I have to use my focus for this test. So usually I haven't been too disappointed by having only a single focus energy, but this is making it challenging. But it's okay. I just got to be patient. Yeah, any test I do, I'm risking fatigue and injuries and nonsense. So I'm just going to end the round again. Go back up to 3, draw a card, and draw a path card. There's the web wall feature. Another obstacle. When your icon is on this feature, your icon cannot be moved and progress cannot be added to this feature. With fitness and conflict, you can pull apart the cloying webs to add a harm to this feature for every 2 effort. But if you fail, move your icon to this feature, and on a crest, move your icon to this feature and move it within reach. So right now it's along the way. It's not causing us any problems yet, but other than the fact that it is an obstacle. All right, so this is a little bit annoying to get through. What can I do? Well, I can't even interact with the web wall right now via tests because this obstacle's in the way. I did draw an exploration icon, which is Artel's vaulting rod. I'm down to 1 copy in my deck. I made some modifications at the end of the previous day. I can exhaust it and use 1 of 2 vaults to exhaust an obstacle, but it also takes 3 gear spots. So I would have to lose 1 of these 2 gear, which I'm not really interested in. So it's probably just going to be the icon here. So that's 1 and 2, and I can commit Cradle by the Earth for 3. -2 is really going to set me back. All right, I think I'm going to shape the Earth first. So this costs 2 fitness and a song because it's a manifestation. I have no songs, which isn't ideal. So this test is just kind of hanging out. I'm not doing that yet. I'm going to add a progress to each feature and location and then redistribute it. So 1, 2 features and 1 location, and then redistribute it. I'm going to put 2 progress onto the web wall, which will clear it. I said I can't interact with it, but that's via test. This isn't a test, so this obstacle doesn't get in my way. I can reshape the web wall, and then the 3rd progress I'll go ahead and leave on the location. And then I'm going to do this test with my 3 effort committed, looking at blue. -1 is fine, 3 goes to 2, and 2 is what I need to inch my way along precariously balanced rocks. And that will clear this, which adds a 3rd one to the search mission, but it needs 4. Oh, I should have added 2 when the web wall came out. So that actually the search mission goes up to 5 now. Actually, it should have cleared already because it should have had... All right, let's rewind that, kind of. I should have put 2 on the web wall, and then when I cleared it with Shape the Earth, that would have put the 4th token on it, and then the 1 was still in the loose boulders. So let's see what happens when I read 1.45. If it is search for Cassende, go to 1.45C, read an entry based on how many days have passed. It's 1. It's because I got this mission yesterday from the Elder in Tumbledown. So 0 to 1, you carefully search among the boulders. As you look into one crevice, you hear a low "hey" from behind you. Sighing, you turn to see Cassende sitting in a small alcove. Her arm is roughly bandaged, but she still holds her whisper crack darter carefully with her good hand. Search the path deck for the next predator. Put it into play within reach of a ranger of your choice. Cassende's wounds are deep and bloody. As you treat her, you ask what happened. "Hydra worms," she grunts as you tighten a bandage. "I was culling them, and one took a bite out of me." Well, we were dealing with hydra worms. That's in the swamp. We're not in the swamp now, so thematically, I guess we're supposed to be there, but mechanically, we don't need to be. Complete the Search Cassende mission and gain a Rescue Cassende mission. Put her into play within reach. Attach Rescue to her. Don't read her entry. You've got to get her to a ranger station in one piece. All right, so I need to get a predator. Let's see. That's not 1. 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 That is 1. We found a Reclaimer Seeker, and it also has Ambush, so I'm going to immediately get Fatigued for 2. So shuffle the path deck back up, and Cassende is now in play. Search becomes Rescue. All right, so let's see the Reclaimer Seeker. Yeah, Ambush means it fatigues me right away, so I'll take 2 because that's equal to its presence. 4 harm or 9 progress to clear it. On a sun, it will move. On a mountain, it gets a mucus to the location. If there are 3 or more, discard them. Search the general set for a Reclaimer Polyp. Well, that sounds bad. I don't know what that does, but it sounds bad. On a crest, if you have 2 or more fatigue, exhaust it and suffer an injury. Well, I do have 2 or more fatigue because you just gave it to me. All right, so this is within reach, and we can see Cassende as well. She has an entry, but I think it just said don't read it. So we'll skip that. She is friendly, so she won't fatigue me, but she's also disconnected, which means I cannot add progress to her using the Connect Common test. But I could add progress to her in different ways, although I don't think I want to because I'm trying to get her to a ranger station. And my Now's Understanding is in the discard pile, and I have no song, so I'm not super equipped to add progress to her anyway. On a mountain, she will attack a predator and get 3 progress. On a crest, the predator will attack her. All right, so she can tank the Seeker for me once, but then she'll have taken 2 harm from that, and her harm threshold is 4. So a second time would take her off the table, and that is not good for our rescue mission. You found the missing person. Get them back to safety as quickly as possible. At the start of the day, read 1.47, so we've got a little ways for that. She gains persistence, so she can move between locations with us. When she's cleared, resolve one of the following effects, depending on whether it was harm or progress. But progress just says ignore it. So arrive at a ranger station to read 1.46. And on a sun, we have to search for a predator. All right, so we really want to get to a ranger station. What is the nearest one from Rings of the Moon? Oh, I just need to go to Meadow. That was my next stop anyway. So I just need to leave here and go to Meadow, and she will be safe. All right, then I could have done something else before doing that test to clear the other loose boulders, but let's just assume I didn't and finish resolving that. So I need to resolve the sun, which gives me a fatigue, and 1 rain is discarded. This one says if there are no active predators, but there is one. And then this says move it. So it goes along the way. And then this was going to be a trail token, but it's not going to be relevant anymore. Now, just want to leave. But I also want to clear the Reclaimer Seeker for the Secret Invasion mission, actually. I'm down to 2 cards in my hand already. And I got no ways to soothe fatigue because I mulliganed away my Philosopher's Honey and I spent Cradled by the Earth already. So what are we gonna do? And I have no songs, so I can't actually play either of these cards. I can connect with the Reclaimer Seeker. It needs a 9. I think that's what I'm gonna have to do, unless I draw Quiet and Riri. Or just, if I get a song, I can Skywhip. Skywhip for 4 is not super easy, but not crazy. Well, it's kind of crazy with my hand like it is now. I can pick back up a card with my roll. The only manifestation is Shape the Earth. And I can't play any manifestations right now. I can calibrate my Topographone and scout the path deck to make sure nothing else bad comes out while we're kind of trying to deal with the Seeker. All right, I'm going to try to connect with the Seeker with the common connect test. It needs 9 to clear. I'm putting in 3 for now. So we'll just see multi-step process. Got a -2, so that's 1 progress there. Oh no, connect is X. So I actually have to, it's a minimum of 2. So I failed the test. And resolve a crest. If you have 2 or more fatigue, exhaust this and suffer an injury. That's not good, which means all my fatigue is discarded anyway. There's one of my quiets, Touch of Odessa, and Seen Through Cycles. This is going to be hard. I don't have the tools to deal with this right now. And then she says if there's an active predator, but there's not because it just exhausted itself. And we'll reshuffle. All right, this might end up being a short day, starting out with an injury. I think I need, oh no, I'm going to do this test. I'm gonna scout the path deck. 2 plus reason. I'm not adding any reason, so just a 2. Got a 0, so I get to scout 4 cards. Pretty strong. Let's see. Web Wall, Fraying Rope Bridge, the Tenebra, and a Skittish Opilion. The Opilion looks pretty bad. Well, it clears with 2 harm, but I can't do 2 harm. The Tenebra is annoying, but really not the worst. Fraying Rope Bridge looks pretty annoying, and I know another Web Wall, which is easy to clear with Shape the Earth, but I have no songs. So I think I want to put all of these on the bottom, except for Tenebra, although that's going to affect my ability to interact with the Reclaimer Seeker. It's not coming out to play now, but I'm just taking a look. Actually, I still have to resolve this sun. No, this will come out next round. If I put all 4 on the bottom, then I don't know what's coming out, and it could easily be worse. So sure, let's leave the Tenebra, I suppose. No, you know what? Because there's more Valley cards in here, right? I think when I was flipping through looking for the first predator, I saw that the Painter Girl is in here. So at the very least, I could find her, and that would be not a bad thing. All right. Then we got to resolve the sun. You discard a rain, take a fatigue. There's no active predator. Oh, there's no active predator because it's exhausted. Search the path deck and discard for the next predator. Check the, what says path deck and discard. So I think I have to search the path deck first. That's annoying. I just scouted the path deck. Or can I choose the discard pile first if I want to? Oh, the Nyctivats are not a predator, so it doesn't matter. Well, that sucks. I did this test just to scout the path deck, and now I have to mess it up. There's Silbalai. See you later. And we got a Skittish Opilion, which I just put on the bottom, and then I have to shuffle. And this comes into play within reach. 2 harm and 7 progress. On a sun, if there's no web wall, exhaust it and get a web wall. On a mountain, if there's no hazard, shuffle it into the path deck. Oh, if I get rid of the web, it might just skitter off. And on a crest, if I have 3 or more fatigue, it gives me an injury. Right now I'm at 1. And this is coming into play within reach, so I resolve this, and then this, and then this. So I think I actually resolved that sun as well to search for a web wall. Again, it search the deck before it says discard. So we'll get the next web wall coming back out. We gotta do this again. All right, that's it for me. I'm gonna ready. I have to rest first, so I take a fatigue from my injury, which means I now have 2 again. So the Seeker would fight me again or give me another injury. Draw a card, Ranger badge. It's 2 exploration. I don't think that's what I need now, though. I think I kind of need to do tests. I mean, I wonder if this day is just going to be a complete wash. I'm going to get nowhere here because I need songs to do my stuff, and I can't. All the tests have so many challenge icons. I'm never going to get into song. All right, let's see what the Triptifolium does. 0 presence is nice. Within reach, awareness, and reason to pluck. Add harm to it, soothe the fatigue, and draw a ranger card. Sure. If there's an active prey, exhaust it, add progress to it, and harm to this, equal to that prey's presence. There are no prey currently. I actually have I cannot get a song right now. Every single icon, all 3 icons would have some kind of effect, which means my manifestations are dead cards. My ability to return manifestations to my hand is dead. Ranger badge would let me do that twice. I say dead, they do have icons on them, but what tests do I even want to do? I can keep trying to connect with the Reclaimer Seeker and just ignore the Spider because it just has the 1 presence. I'm just gonna get fatigued so fast. I mean, I guess at this point, if I could just get her safe to meadow, maybe that's all I can do today. All right, I'm going to try to pluck some Triptophobium. I think I'm just going to spend a single energy on that. So hopefully I don't get a minus here. On green, I got a 0. So I succeed. I add 1 harm to this feature. So a second time we'll clear it. I get to soothe 1 fatigue and draw 1 ranger card. Got a green thumb and a throng of life. I mean, I guess the green thumb will let me search for more Triptofolium. So I can keep doing that. And then the sun gives me another fatigue. The Reclaimer moves, and that's it. And the reshuffle. I think I'm going to do that again. Again, 1, looking at green, I got a +1, so that's another success. I get to add a second harm to it, which will clear it, but then I'll soothe the fatigue and draw a card. Fatigue is Riri, and the card is bold. And then on a crest, not great. I have to put my ranger icon here, which means progress cannot be added. And I have to do a fit test to pull apart from it. And it moves within reach, which is actually better because then I can interact with the web wall without the Reclaimer Seeker fatiguing me. Now she says if there's an active predator, exhaust it and add harm to it equal to its presence. So she gets 2 harm, but that means I don't get a second injury, which it would have done. Well, no, it wouldn't, because I only have 1 fatigue right now, but I actually don't get to choose because if I resolve this first, it will do nothing, and then it will still be ready when she resolves. So it doesn't matter either way. And then this Skittish Affiliate says if you have 3 or more fatigue, take an injury, but I don't have that either. Then I'll run another reshuffle. All right, now I'm going to have to do something before she takes another 2 harm, because that'll be bad. I mean, I did have, last time I had to rescue somebody, they also got beat up. So I don't have a great track record for that. I guess I just need to do that fit test, fit plus conflict to pull 2. I actually need a 4. If I get a 4, it clears it. Add 1 harm to this feature for every 2 effort. So 4 effort would clear, would put 2 harm, which would clear it. Got 2 here. Let's just do 3, 4, 5. -2 would be really bad. Got a -1. That's a 4, which will clear it. So the web wall is gone, which is good. And then resolve a sun. That's another fatigue, which means the downpour is now a gathering storm. This says if there's no active predator, but there is one. Thank you, spider. And then the spider says if there's no web wall, exhaust it and search for web wall. Ugh. Deck and discard. Bats, Tenebra, Triptofolium, Silvali, Talus Cave, Fraying Rope Bridge. So we'll search the discard pile. And obstacles back. I need quiet to just take that thing out. All right. Is there any way I can get a song? I mean, I guess doing tests now would help. No, because the sun will give me another predator. Crest will make the wall mess up with me again, and only the mountain will give me a song. The other 2 are actually quite bad. Actually, I don't know if there are any more predators, because deck and discard. Because when I had to search the deck last time for a predator, the only one I found was that spider. There might not be any more predators. All right, I'm going to exhaust my roll to return a manifestation in my hand. I'm going to choose Sky Whip. And I think I am going to do a connect test with the Reclaimer Seeker again. 3, I got a 0, so I get to add 3 progress. 2 more of those and it'll be done. Remember Crest gives me the Web Wall. And that's it. Do I try to draw a card? Yeah, I'm going to try to draw a card with the common test. +1 means I scout 2 from my deck and send both of these to the bottom. Bold and Topographone. Draw a different card. Shape the Earth. It's not going to do it. All right, so let's energize and draw and ready. And I drew a good card. So let's see what we can do here. Hopefully this path card doesn't mess us up too much. We got the Tenebra, but it's going to be along the way. So take a look at that one. That was the one I almost chose to put out. You perform a test that interacts with a card of the same type in the same areas. This feature reduce your effort by 1. Not a good thing. Clears with 3 progress. We need to read 88, but we've seen this one a couple times, so I'm not going to. Basically, they're big, looming, weird things that freak people out, give you a sense of unease. On a sun, it will move. All right, but it is along the way, so it's not messing with us right now. And if anything, it is another feature, although I have no songs, but if I shape the Earth, it could be a bonus. All right, I'm going to play Green Thumb, spending 1 awareness. Search the path deck and discard for a Flora and put it into play. I'm going to choose this Triptifolium from the discard. I assume I can do that. I get to search. It's my search. I want that one. If there's another in the deck, I want it to be there. And it says attaches and then increase its harm threshold by 2. So instead of 2 harm, it can only clear after it gets 4. And then I'm going to play new card, Touch of the Verdessa, relatively new. Actually, I think it's the newest one I got, isn't it? Even newer than it's a Topographone. Oh, it is a manifestation. I have no songs. All right. Well, never mind. Is there any way I can get 6 progress on that with 1 spirit test? No. I have 1 connection icon. That puts me to 4. I can actually return 1. I can get another Throng of Life back. That makes 5. Although I should have added 2 rain to the Gathering Storm. So that would be 5. And a +1 would do it. I'd have to get lucky here. And I really need to clear it because before anything else happens, because otherwise she's going to get hit for 2. Oh no, I could have the spider attack her instead. And then I take an injury. Ugh. Unless I soothe the fatigue first with the Triptifolium. But I didn't take my fatigue when I rested, did I? I think I should have done that. Man, oh man. Life is rough as a shaper when you cannot get your songs. It's kind of ironic. I'm spending these cards that would let me choose the number to use on the challenge card in order to beef up my effort, but I can't play them anyway because I have no songs. So 3, 4, 5, I need a +1. I think I just have to risk it. I don't know what else I could do. There's 1 +1 on the discard pile. It's unlikely. I'm aware of that. I should still have 2 fitness energy. I'm just afraid to do any tests that aren't getting rid of this Reclaimer. Like, I could use the Triptifolium, get a couple more cards in hand. If I had Quiet and Riri, I'd be good. But instead I have all one of each is in my discard pile. All the manifestations I can't play. All right, I'm going for it. I got a -1. That's a 4. So we'll add 4. Puts it up to 7. Need 2 more. Resolve the Sun. If there's no active predator, but there is, move this feature. Move this predator. If there's no web wall, exhaust it, but there is one. All right, didn't get an injury. Cassende didn't get beat up. But we're still not in great shape. Now I can't do a test on it anyway because of the web wall in the way. So I'm going to have to get rid of the web wall. But Tenebra is going to slow me down in that regard. So in order to clear in one shot like I did last time, I'll actually need 5 instead of 4 because of the Tenebra. Conflict. So I can do 2, 3, 4, and then again hope for a +1. Is there another way to get rid of that? Not really, because I can't add progress. I have to add harm. I can't just add harm to an obstacle. I can commit Touch of the Duressa as well, put me up to 5. All right, that's what I'm doing. 5 to do this. Fit test to pull myself free of the webs. Got a -1. That makes it a 4, but that makes it a 3. 3 means I add 1 harm, not 2. And then the mountain adds a mucus token to the location. If there are 3 or more, we go get a polyp. And then, so Cassende actually triggers on a mountain as well. The Triptifolium says if there's an active prey, but there's not. Spider says if there's no hazard, but there is. And then Cassende says if there's an active predator, exhaust her, add 3 to that predator, and 3 progress to her. The progress won't do anything, but it technically does go there. So which predator do I want to put 3 harm onto? The spider hasn't done much. Well, it keeps bringing out webs. That's pretty annoying. So I could just have her beat up the spider, or put 3 harm onto the Reclaimer Seeker, and then it will need 1 more harm to clear. But in order to do that 4th harm, it will have to be another mountain trigger from her, or I could draw Riri, or I could draw Quiet. Oh wait, I have Riri in my hand. Okay, so we're gonna have her fight the Seeker. I mean, it's not a fight, she's just hitting it. Although I needed to move back for Riri to get it, but I think that makes sense. Okay, I think I will do this Tryptophium test to pluck some. Just gonna work with a 1 here. Got a 0, so I succeed. It adds 1 of 4 harm. I soothe 1 and draw 1. Got the honey and seen through cycles. Not bad, but now we gotta do the suns. That moves the Seeker, which is actually what we kind of wanted. The Tenebra will swap places with it. Spider says if there's no wall, find one, but there is a wall. This is if there's no active predators, but there was one. So that was pretty good, actually. I was thinking about doing, with my focus, the test to take cover, but now with the Seeker where I need it to be, I don't want to risk another sun and then they swap back. So that means the rain is going to start again and I'm going to be exhausted. I'm not going to be able to get another manifestation back, but I can't play them anyway. They're nice to have for the icons, but yeah, I think I'm just going to end the round here. I'm going to go ahead and rest, which gives me another fatigue. My deck is down to 6 and I haven't traveled once. Get my energy and draw Sky Whip, draw a path card, and it's the Fraying Rope Bridge. So this is a 2 presence, so it makes it hard to travel because it's kind of in the way. It's not actually an obstacle though, but if I put my ranger icon, it can't fatigue me. I can do that with a spirit test to be brave, but on suns it takes harm, and if it collapses while I'm there, I'll take an injury. So for now, I'm not really trying to travel. I'm just trying to make progress here. If I can get a single song, I can travel without having to traverse. Although not right now, because this gets 2 more rain and flips back. Move all prey along the way, but there's no prey. Predator, predator, flora. But it does exhaust my roll, so I can't pick up any manifestations this round. All right, now I'm just going to start off by playing Riri. She has the ability to exhaust to add a harm to a being in the same area. We're going to add a harm to the Reclaimer Seeker. That will clear it with 4. So let's read from the Secret Invasion mission. If I clear a Reclaimer Seeker, I can read 1.10. I doubt this is going to be much more than lore and maybe just like a quest continuation of some kind. Check off 1 bubble next to Secret Invasion on the campaign tracker. Read the entry corresponding to your progress. You observe the Reclaimer as it slinks away. Everything about the biomeld seems designed to be lethal. Why would the ancestors create such a being? What purpose in the ecology could it serve? Perhaps if you find more of them, the answer will be made clear. All right, so reading that entry, I actually just realized I made a mistake. I just recorded a future me, which is the now me version that I'll put in the past, interrupting past me. So you already know, but yeah, I should be on this Invasion Stage 1 mission, not the Secret Invasion mission. Secret Invasion, I believe I would have taken that mission if I had chosen the Elders path rather than the airplane guys mission path. I chose Sensor Network instead of Secret Invasion. So I should not have sent Secret Invasion, which means I should not have read the entry I just read. Instead, I should be on Invasion Stage 1. And the Path Deck Assembly, this was adding 3 to the Valley set, which made them pretty rare to show up. Secret Invasion Stage 1, or Invasion Stage 1, says the strange biomeld known as Reclaimers are swarming over the Valley. More appear each day. This is based on the number of days since you received the mission. Check whether your destination has a trait that matches a trait listed below. If it does, search the general set for 3 Reclaimer Seekers and put them into the Path Deck. So I got the mission on the previous day, at the start of the day, but after the step where you set up the Path Deck, but plus it was day 0. So I wouldn't have shuffled any Reclaimer Seekers in on day 0, but now it is day 1. So I should have shuffled 5, or 3 rather, should have shuffled 3 into each ruins that I go to. The Rings of the Moon is a ruin, so there should actually be 3. Now I happen to get one, which is lucky, but there should be 2 more, which means finding predators would be more common. I don't think that actually affected anything because I haven't actually resolved this when there wasn't an active predator, except for the one time I had to pull out the spider. Or maybe that's how the Reclaimer Seeker came out as well. But either way, I think we're actually pretty legit, other than the fact there should be 2 more Reclaimer Seekers shuffled in. So let's do that now. I guess when the spider did come out, it should have been more likely that it was a Reclaimer Seeker than a spider, but we'll just chalk that up to luck. All right, so they're out of the Valley set, and now they are ready to go. And this mission is interesting because it doesn't actually have a conclusion. It just modifies the way we set up. So there's nothing I can do other than just get to the biological outpost, I think. We're trying to rescue Cassende in the midst of an invasion. All right, so we just cleared the 1, discard that, and now I'm really in a rush because I don't need any more of those to come out. But I have to get out of the web first. So I think first I'll play Philosopher's Honey for 2 and then exhaust it to use 1 dollop to soothe 1 fatigue. Oops, got Familiar Ground. Add a harm to a floor to add 3 to a trail. Yeah, well, Rings of the Moon's not a trail, so I hate this card. The Rope Bridge is a trail, but progress doesn't do me any good. All right, I'm going to do this test here. 2 fitness. Tenebra's not here. I need a 2. Have a 2. I will add 1 conflict icon to make that a 3 so I can afford a -1. I got a 0, so that is a 3. For every 2 effort, I get 1 harm, so that will clear the spider web. Then resolve the mountain. Cassende says if there's an active predator, exhaust her and add 3 harm to that predator, which will clear the spider. And then she gets 3 progress, but she cannot be cleared because of the rescue mission. So she just stays there with 6 progress on her, I guess. On the trip to Folium says if there's an active prey, but there's not. I'm actually close to being able to leave, but I'm afraid of more Reclaimers. And I don't actually have fitness to traverse anyway. Do I try to get on the Rope Bridge with my 1 spirit? No. I could do a remember test to draw a card, but I risk a sun, which would be a disaster. But there's a 2/3 chance I get a song. 2/3 chance to get a song. Number of cards remaining. 2, 3, 4, 5. Guess I'm doing a remember test. There's the sun. I got a 2. So I'll scout 2 cards. Got Quiet and Honey. I'll put Honey on the bottom, I guess. Keep quiet. Actually, that'll help against Reclaimer. That was really rough. I'll take a Fatigue. The Tenebra comes to me. The Rope Bridge starts to fall, although my icon's not there, so if it falls, that's fine. And then the Rescue says if there's no active predator, go find one. So there's a Reclaimer, which has Ambush. So I take 2 more Fatigue. And wow, reshuffle. Really needed a song. This is, man, I just want to travel. That's all I wanted to do. I guess I'm ending the day here. Or not the day, I'm ending the round. I'm probably going to be ending the day. 2, 2, 1, 3. Draw my last card in my deck. Draw a Path card. Another Reclaimer. I get Fatigued, and that's it. Wow, I couldn't even traverse a single location. I found Cassende. All right, let's see what I'm going to have to do at the start of the next day. 1.47. It was late when you found them, and it wasn't that late. And you were forced to stop for the night. Now that it's lights out, their injuries are looking even worse. No other Rangers have shown up, and you grimly realize that you need to get them to a station today if they're going to have a chance. Put the mission into play within reach of a Ranger of your choice. Add a rescue card to them. Put the mission subject into play, and do not read their entry. All right, let's cross off day 11. And I guess that was an entry. 94.10 is the end of the rescue Cassende. Or 94.9, but I assume it's at 94.9 that will basically be the demise of Cassende if I'm not able to rescue her. And if day 12 goes anything like day 11, we just get nowhere. That would be a bummer. But I just had no songs. I couldn't do anything, couldn't shape anything. So that was a pretty big bummer of a day. Hope you liked the video. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and bye.